know if you heard anything I said in that last broadcast, to tell you the truth. I see the microphone was turned off, but I don't know when. I'll take a look at it. Thanks, sir. So there's this, I imagine she's Hindu, but I don't know. There's a woman from India, a young woman that works with the UPS. It's from India. And she has a little black dot on her forehead, but it's like looks like a freckle, but it's perfectly placed, like the dot that they put on their forehead for the Hindu temple. But it's black; it's not red. But I don't know if she maybe did it for religious reasons, like they allowed her to do it so that she can do it, but nobody sees it. And she's allowed to do it only if she hides it. Right. But I don't know. Can't tell. Let me get this fixed up here. Hang on. I don't know. It's going to be a difficult move to if I go to Altoona. There's not much there, but again, I mean, it's a good price. The place I'm moving to looks relatively safe. I don't believe that has any issue there. These probably partially college students. The one that was specially for college students, I said, nah, I pass on that. It's like half the building's college students. I said, nah, that's enough. The deep state set that one up. He specifically moved into the one with the college students. Whereas everybody I would work with would do that, and actually had sex with college students while they were adults. Right. But we won't talk about them, right? Right. Nah, they were part of something corrupt. Not Matt and not working, but the people that were from that area, right? 100%. The ones that had worked there before the DC guys showed up, right? They were into something corrupt. They were being enriched by somebody corrupt, right? Thanks, sir. Yeah, they always had more money than everyone else. I'm sure they were getting something from the deep state, right? So this is really weird. The last time I saw this woman that was a massage therapist, she recommended that I do CBD cream with the massage. But I didn't really want to go back to her. I just felt like it just wasn't a good fit. So I wonder if she willed it because it's actually happening right now. There's nobody like I have to go see her, and I'm actually voluntarily getting the CBD cream because I just want to use up my minutes at the place because I'm not going to be around one. So I'm trying to figure out, did this woman will it? Because they keep effing me off here. It takes me down, and I have low place in the community, and everybody can take advantage of you like that when they do that. Right? The church took advantage of me. They owe me $1 million, man. They owe me $1 million just for that couple episodes, right? Or a few episodes. I keep forgetting they came and stalked me at Walmart. That was like the last straw, right? But the last straw really was her. Right? I was starting to say, man. Well, the other one I didn't feel sexual possession, but I'm sure it was there, right? Or sense, should I say? Definitely try to get me interested, and then she went over and talked to a black man. That's a deep state scam, right? Well, because they're just investigating to see how you react to it, and you reacted poorly, so it's got to be something wrong, right? No, they ruined my life for like 30 something years. They were in the army too. They couldn't do it when I was in the army as well. But every once in a while, I'll be like, what the hell's going on? All right. Oh, you allege that I'm a freaking rapist or some shit. So then everybody turns against you. Right. That's all I got to do is say it. That's why everybody's afraid of it. 100%. Well, you all go to hell. I don't give a shit. There's thousands of you people that touched on my life previous that have already passed on that are in hell. I could give a shit less. So my wife starts calling in the office. The chief says, don't talk to her. Nobody's allowed to talk to her. It's none of our business. Right. So somebody told me, Karen Shelton called your wife. I think it was Rick Snyder or somebody. I'm like, well, it's whatever. I know the chief said no, whatever. All right. Well, because I had everything under control. You know what I mean? It was normal divorce. It was starting to head into a normal divorce. She had a boyfriend. I was happy because she had somebody to be with. Right. Thank you, Larry. Now, I was a little concerned because they were living in my house that they weren't paying for. So maybe, hopefully he doesn't drop her after he gets, after the house disappears. And I was going to give my wife, she got like 50,000 from a car accident. The deep state actually fought the larger case. Right. That Josh Treem guy that got indicted, at least he got indicted. He didn't get convicted. It'd been better if he got convicted. He's a thief. Right. He was part of it. I'll leave here to my neighbor. Thanks, Larry. And then the final straw was like everything was, I still had it under control. And then my wife said, Rick Henry stopped by. I'm like, what? Who? My wife didn't know Rick Henry. She didn't know anybody from my work. Except for one guy to try to call her, and she said it was like a porno call or some shit. I told him. He said he brought it up, and I said, "Look, I covered it over. I don't want to hear nothing." I told her just forget about it. Right. And he had a good career probably because I protected him. Right. Thank you, Larry. Oh my God. They're probably deep state. He went nuts and called my wife and tried to do something. Right. Nah, yeah, that's probably what it was. I think it really did happen. My wife was pretty adamant. There was a weird call, and it was a guy I worked with. Right. But so access to my kids, and she's in. We're in that child custody thing, and she's talking about somebody told her something, because she tried to bring up an allegation about me and the kids. And the lady, had experience with it. She stopped right there and said, "Okay, wait, don't say anything else. I'll bring a witness in here. You want to make statements? You're going to make a statement in front of someone else, because they're going to hold her for false statements." Right. And she goes, "Well, I heard." I didn't say anything, but I was like, "Yeah, Rick Henry or Karen Shelton, one or the other, probably both." Ugh. No, they ain't pieces of shit. No paying help for it. Running their own fucking games on the side, making money from some drug dealer. Probably Russians. I think it was the Russians. That's really who I thought it was in Baltimore, who was pulling the strings. Right. I just Russian guy. We had this big FBI case, and we had to protect the jury, right? And we had a Russian guy on the jury. He, same as the LDS bosses, all hinked out, wouldn't look at me in the eyes, right? Get with the kids over here before I leave. Look, I couldn't even get over to heal the kids because of what they've been doing. Right? They're not healing your kids. They can't even heal your kids. They're so far into Satan's ass for money. Anybody that's sick from money like the LDS Church can't heal children. It's Satan making their lives look pretty and wonderful. Right? It's like the scripture tells you. Latter-day Satanists. Because you got the initials right. They ghouls, man. It's a ghoulish church. Right. Oh yeah, Shasham showing me something by taking me this way also. This is the upper trail. It takes me out over here. Right. I was trying to figure out where's, I guess I never really walked that far on the other trail because it was always the mosquitoes that always be there at the springtime. Right. Now there's no mosquitoes. I'm walking further. It's not that walk's nice actually. I mean, they've been doing this my life, and people making so much money hand over fist doing it. And you had some like nice people that wanted to get to know me, and they feared them for their life, man. Right. So, what I got on the inside is they threatened to take her children. Right. That Fallon woman. Right. I was supposed to help her exercise because her parents had diabetes real bad. She was eating candy like it was going out of style. Right. That's the kind of shit that stuff you use for legitimate stuff, but right, they use it legitimately. That's what they use for the deep state. All that stuff you use for legitimate investigation, they use it for the deep state bullshit, corruptly. They'll go to hell for that, right? Right. That's why I have no friends. Because if a woman tries to be a friend with me, they'll threaten to take her kids, threaten to put her in jail. I guarantee you, my girlfriend I had, whose husband was the guy she was separated from, her ex-husband, was the IRS guy. I guarantee, now that motherfucker offended. I know he's part of it. Piece of shit. Thanks, sir. But I guarantee they pulled her over drunk. I guarantee. And they told her, we'll let you go if you do what we say. But she was drugged. There's no doubt she was drugged. Because they were probably discrediting her because of her husband. Because he's deep state. I'm sure he's deep state. He was a young agent, but they hired him on because I happened to stumble into his wife, probably. Right. Thanks, Larry. They drugged me and stuff. I'm telling you, I was on tests and all that. So again, I had quite a sex drive, but I wasn't sexual, right? And like over the counter, I wasn't on, right? Wasn't on anything illegal, right? And it wouldn't. All of a sudden, it wouldn't work. While I was dating them, them son of a bitches. What the hell they use? It's the only time I was like dating a woman and having sex in my life, like without marrying and all that. Right? Yeah, they drugged. That's how I know they drugged me. As soon as I stopped dating her, they stopped. Because they want me masturbating. Like I said to her, I said, let's be friends. And she goes, you're not taking this well. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, just be friends. I mean, but I could tell something was up. I guess they told her she couldn't have any contact, right? And I knew they were doing her because the fire truck came by. Like they called the fire truck. What they'll do is harass you with sirens, like they do in prison of war camp. The CIA does this in open community. You may hear sirens going by, but somebody could be the victim, and sirens might just go by for the hell of the sirens going by, right? To arrest the victim. Fire trucks, police cars, that kind of thing, right? So I took some time off of work and went to visit her at helped her with the vet. First, it was really weird because she seduced me, right? The next morning, and even she made statements the next morning. I didn't want it to be like that. Darn it, I did it again. But no, I don't think she's like that. She wouldn't. I was the first guy she was with since she left her husband. So, well, he was a pretty anal dude. That was what freaked her out. I mean, she's a pretty clean person, but he was like insano anal, right? Like he'd abused her psychologically for leaving her wet shoes on the deck, because she's thinking, I don't want to take these inside, Why are you leaving these on the deck? So it's like he just kept doing shit like that to her, right? Well, I helped her at the vet because she had it was actually that big last trial with Agent Steve and Agent, what was the other woman's name? What's that woman's name? It was like some weird name. Blonde haired woman. Agent, wasn't like a normal name. So it was like Daisy or Sunshine or something. What was her name? Oh yeah, Wyoming Casper. No. No, what was her name? I can't. Finally, something I can't remember. Shane, that was it. I would have loved to marry that woman. I've been a dream come true. Right. But so did she get fired? Did they fire Shane, or did she make it? Did she keep her job? If she's not already retired, I don't know. She's either retired or close to retirement. So where was I? Let me see. Deep State. Rick Henry. Oh yeah, so I went with my girlfriend to the vet. The vet to help her. I took a time off of work, took leave. I'm boss at this big trial. I might want to take some time off. Don't have time to change out of my suit, go in my suit. We get there. Not the kids, the two rabbits and the dog. I helped her because it's a lot for her to carry. She's a petite woman, and and the last time I was actually with a woman. This is what they did in my life. They're sick people. They'll pay in hell over and over again. Believe you me. Your church LDS can act like hell doesn't exist for all of you, but it does, and it does for a long period of time. So I'm sitting there, and we go inside, and I help her. I wait for us to get inside the office before I lean over, give her a little peck, and she goes, "Is that all you want?" So what they put in her head is like I'm just trying to get sex from her, like I'm not serious, like I'm not a serious dude. And they knew I was like I'd fall in love at the drop of a hat, right? And they've used that against me for years. And then they try to develop it to like a fantasy, but again, it's CIA KGB type operation. It included both organizations. I can guarantee it, and they'll all go to hell for it. Have fun being the bosses around the world right now. You're all going to hell. There's no way out. So, she's freaking out. I'm like, wait. I said, I waited for us to get in the office. I felt like saying, look, you don't want to try to seduce me to sex, and now I can't peck you on the cheek. That's how crazy they made her. They were drugging her. I knew it. I didn't know it. I had a feeling they were drugging her. Right. But you don't, like, when it starts, you don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Plus, I was instructed, don't say anything about it, and then just don't worry about it. It'll go away. Right. But it's a lie. They lied to everyone else. Right. Thank you, Larry. So we get finished with the debt appointment. We go outside, and I could tell she's still in love with me. Really. Besides what they're doing to her head. And she grabs her. We had probably the most beautiful first date in the history of the world. And then even that other date when I met her friends, it was just, I was such a subservient man, just allowing her to have time with her friends, just being happy, being next to her. All right. Like not expecting anything because it's not my gig, it's her gig, it's her friends. Thank you. So she like we had time together between that, but it's like 2 times we were like out in public around. I guess we went to I think we got drugged at the restaurant, Bahama Breeze, or they could they could have put it on the door handles of the car, right? Because we both had experience going home. But I knew they were doing her because she was having the same exact experience I was. See, that's why they split you up, because I could watch her and I could watch her having the same reaction to things that I had, right? So and we never talked about it until a certain point. We said, like I said, she goes, "Can't you see?" I said, "I see." I just like learned the word "see" at that point. Right. And then so we're out in the parking lot, and the fire trucks start up. So they're stalking us to find out when we come outside, and they ruin it with these fire trucks that she's freaking out over now. They did it to Rich Snyder too. He used to freak out. That was the guy that freaked out. They did it to Rich Snyder. Like when Rich Snyder was freaking out on me, I couldn't figure out, what was wrong with him. He was really getting a little, like anybody else would. I saved so many people's careers. Anybody else would have turned Rich Snyder in. Oh, he got crazy in the car. I was like, oh my god. No, Rich Snyder. I think the rumor is inside. The scuttlebutt is they did get rich in time, right? So, no, Rich Snyder got whacked a couple times, and it kind of slowed down when I broke it. God broke it by this. Rich was like so sick. He had like a COVID, like a full blown COVID thing. And I drove him home and all this. And I made sure he was okay, and I was real nice to him. And I think after that, it kind of humbled him a little bit. But they had him crazy, right? And he got freaked out. Like we were sitting there in the courthouse waiting for a verdict, and everybody was there. I forget what it was for, but it was a huge violent gang, right? And everybody had to be present, like supervisor, fugitive. Everybody was there, right? And this ambulance is going to the courthouse. For all we know, it's a deep state. I mean, it could be, right? That's how they are. Believe me, they use that psychological warfare method, right? And he's freaking out. Jesus Christ! I'm like, he's losing it. He killed Luna. But it's a cover story for them to do. It's a cover story for them to continue doing what they did to Luna to the rest of us, and they were doing it anyway. Right. Now they knew they killed Luna with psychology, man, or somebody did it physically, because they don't investigate it right. Because the person that did it physically is one of them, right? So they don't look at it because it's somebody they're executing. So whatever the death is, they try to get rid of it in the most expeditious way they can, right? Mm. Oh, yeah, she freaked out. I'm like, sirens. She grabbed my tie and kissed me with this sad face because she knew it was, she wasn't gonna be able to do it anymore. Her brain was, was jello. That was like 2003, 2004, beginning of 2004, I guess. I think John was killed in 2003 late, so I was like the beginning of 2004, I guess. Right. Mm. So, like I'm saying, it's like if I try to befriend somebody, they're gonna drive sirens around them until they stop like dating me. Right. You're all going to hell, man. There's nothing in the Bible that lets a single one of you in hell. Somebody could be trans all day. Somebody could be gay all day. Somebody can drink booze to excess. Somebody can use drugs. Somebody can be a drug dealer. Somebody can be a pimp. But they're still not, unless they're using what you're all using, God ain't going to hold them to it because you all made them that. You're the rulers on this planet. You ruled them to the sin. You ruled them to the hells that they're living. Y'all think it's funny. God's got your numbers. Every last one of you is going to hell. There's no out. I guess God's taking me by some schools. I guess I'm healing the schools one last time. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, sometimes I just do the wah. Yeah, I should have lived in this. See, the Lord said this is a neighborhood you could have lived in. If I could have got you here at the right time and they would have laid off your life, you'd have moved in one of these big houses in a minute. Oh, I know where I'm at. This is the area. What did I see over here? I saw something and I said we have to heal something. The pearly gates or something. Or what is it? I can't remember what this was over here. Actually, it's closed off now and they put grass down. I healed this area. Now they're actually doing something with it. By Wynwood Farms. That used to be like a parking lot or something, but I went in there and healed it. There was something wrong with it. I can't remember what it was. This whole area in here was indicating, oh, the crucifixes. There they are. Right. Yeah, the crucify me is what they're doing. Right. Nah, they lie about the scriptures. If you go to the abomination list, like this is what happened, and I explained it before. I'll explain it again. You go to the sin. Uh-oh, is my phone almost out of power here? Look, I think I'm losing power here. Say peaceful, praise God, and all that you do.